Come on then, it's okay. Come on, good boy. Come on, buddy, come on. It's okay, come on. Hey. Charlie has chickened out. Oi. Charlie, come here. Oi. Buddy, come here. We need to get across this bridge. Charlie, come here. Come here. Come here, buddy. Oi, come here. Here he is, look. Now look. Come on. This way. Charlie, we're going across this bridge. Come on, buddy. There's absolutely enough. For some reason, Charlie is afraid of this bridge. There's nothing wrong with it, folks. It's a bridge. Right. So, hello, folks. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to the magnificent achievement of 500 subscribers, folks. That is absolutely amazing. And I'd just like to say thanks to you all. Well, now recently we unearthed that photograph of the gun battery down at Godrevey, and we're here today because basically, folks, last time we looked at it we were barking up the wrong tree, folks, and I do believe that we now know, thanks to the powers of Google Maps and modern technology, we now know its location. So picked a day for it for sure. Not exactly the greatest day, but it's just bloody hard to do anything, folks, at the moment. It's really difficult. This weather is set here to stay, and not good at all. So now we're going to go from the dunes area, we're going to go up into Godrevey itself and see if we can find it, folks. So we'll be back. So here we are then, just for your amusement. We've got Godrevey Beach just down here, and looking up the coast. It might be a bit far away, he looks it on the camera, but I can see it clearly. We've got Godrevey Lighthouse, folks, and I'm not sure if you'll make it out from here, so I'll wait till we're a bit closer to it, folks. But directly dead ahead of us, on, well, before the lighthouse, just on the coastline there is a mound of earth, folks, and that's where we're going to go. So bit of a walk, but even though it's a terrible day, folks, it's for weather, it's still an interesting bit of coastline for sure. And got the North Coast Institute, the National Coast Watch Institute hut there, and we're walking up the path because I thought sticking to the road was a bit boring, folks. So well, we'll be back in a minute when we get up there. Right, folks, so I don't think I've quite ever filmed it. Well, it's quite like this, folks, but we've got, look at that surf there. We've got some pretty incredible weather. Charlie's there, look, observing, and we've got that beach down there. And come on this way, come away from the edge, Charlie. Wow, just look at it. I think this is still the remnants of the recent storm, so we've had high seas, and that sky is pretty fierce, folks. Haze in the distance, and you can see those pretty faces, folks. No, I didn't bring the drone today, folks, because I was concerned about visibility. So perhaps on another occasion we can come down here and check that out. I think that would be a good idea, folks. Bit of flying, but yeah, it's pretty wild. So going to make our way, follow the path of that road there, and come on, go and check out this mound, folks. Right, folks, so we're back, and we we have reached our destination. As you can see out there, Godrevey in the bay. It's pretty wild, folks. There's nobody down here, which is a good thing, and I'll explain more in just a moment. So basically then, folks, what is standing right in front of us is this large mound of earth. Now, from the outside it would look such, but I am almost 99% certain that this mound of earth has a gun battery buried underneath it, folks. Yes, well, I'll explain more in a moment, but we're going to go under this rope and back out onto that path, and we're going to see if we can check it out, folks. Just a moment. Right then, so here we go. We can see on, this is Google Maps, and you can see the marker. Oh, you can see the red marker is where the gun battery is, and you can see the blue circle, that is where we are standing. That may not be quite accurate, but I'm pretty certain it is literally right in front of us. So what we're going to do, let's go back to it. So now on the Defence of Britain database, it's got Coastal Artillery Battery depreciated, and it says on the edge of the cliffs overlooking Godrevey Lighthouse at the northeast end of St Ives Bay beaches. And it says the coastal gun site today is a large grass covered mound of earth. According to the local farmers, the gun site was buried by the National Trust post-war, as it is now situated on National Trust land. It is not known whether the gun site was demolished before being buried, or whether it was just buried in its original state. So that's an interesting question, folks, but as far as we know, it was just buried, folks. It wasn't destroyed, it was buried. So we've already got there that yeah, the duplicate of this is actually a beach defense battery, not a coastal battery, and the status has been updated. So that's very interesting. So yeah, so status updated. If I show you the map, folks, you can see on the map there, then we are literally right there. It says depreciated. That marks the spot where we are, folks. I'm sorry, my reflection is making it a bit harder to see, but so we are definitely in the right spot. So what we're going to do in a minute is just to try and get a little bit closer and see if we can actually get to it. Right, so as we noticed straight away, we've moved along a little bit, and we've got this bit of barbed wire enclosure there with it. Or I don't know if it's barbed wire, but it's a wired off area all around it, and got some glorious mud to go through, which we're going to try and be carefully plod our way through it. Sticking to the edge of the grass here, folks, is better, because I think, whoop, nearly tripped over, nearly had me. So we've got stoppage, dog stoppage. Come on, mate, let's go. Incredibly annoying the way dogs just do that. You're walking along and all of a sudden they just stop for no reason. Come on. Right, so what I'm going to try and do in a minute is get to the seaward side of the gun battery, and we can just have a quick look at the mound, folks, just to ascertain whether or not there's any any trace remaining, without nearly going on my arse, which is what it did, folks. I've got this difficult style, everything's muddy and slippery, but we were wet when we came, folks, so it doesn't matter. Right, so come on this way. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna go too far, folks, but I'm just gonna well, we're not going near the edge, folks. We're not going near the edge. Come on then. He's over. Right, so now this wall, folks, this was a bit of a red herring the last time I came up here, because I was convinced that this was the remains of the battery itself, but it would, since then I have learned that it's actually modern, folks. It was built post-war, and it's basically another feature that the National Trust have put here, folks, and we can discount that because I don't think that was actually here in World War II. But whether or not we can get a quick glimpse of it, just want to go slightly ahead there, just to that corner, and just to see if we can actually see any trace of it. I was hoping to get to the other side of this a moment ago, folks, but it's actually turned out to be quite difficult. Right, so that's very interesting. So I think this part of the wall, possibly, folks, was actually built to retain the earth that they used to bury the gun battery. So under here, folks, somewhere, I don't know if you can see anything up there. I don't know if there is or not, if I can do it, sorry. Apologise for the shaky camera, folks. I'm not quite tall enough. I don't know if you saw anything up there, but yeah, so basically then I wouldn't be at all surprised if the mouth of, so the main sort of like you know, casemate for the gun, because it was basically a big casemate sort of built into the ground, folks, and I think there would have been some 6-inch guns in there, and it has since been buried. So I don't know if we're going to see anything. Obviously the grass is really thick, folks, but what I might do, having looked around at this side now, we might go back around there, the other side of that fence, and just to see if we can have a look. Come on then. Right, very uneasy footing, folks. Just back in the right then, folks, so we are standing at the top of this beach here. You can see the steps going down there, and just there behind us is where the gun battery is buried, folks. Now it looks very similar to, I've seen an original photograph of this, which I'm going to include in the video, folks. So it was one of those things that was unearthed recently, and I was compelled to come back down here and re-evaluate it, folks, because it wasn't known when they came down here the last time whether the gun battery actually existed or not. But it does exist, folks, and it's under that mound of earth, which is pretty special, really. But we can see we've got this view of Godrevey Lighthouse there, and the sea is in a rough state today, folks. It's pretty impressive. And there's one thing that never fails to impress me is this seascape, folks. Looking at that lighthouse there, it's just something very romantic about that. Because obviously looking at it from this angle, you can tell that there's just 2 or 3 buildings over there, folks, and it kind of looks like they're kind of like sunken slightly in the middle of the island, folks, perhaps to offer a bit of protection from the wind, which is quite sort of like cozy sort of thing. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to start walking back to the car, and I know there's not an awful lot to see, folks, but I know there's growing interest in possibly exploring the site, you know, maybe for one reason or another. Obviously the National Trust, they own all of this land, folks, but another myth I've heard, which I've not seen evidence of, folks, is I've heard that the National Trust renamed this mound, or they've declared this mound as an ancient burial ground, folks. Now I don't know, I have not seen any physical evidence of that yet, but it's perhaps on our way back we'll have a look at the board in the car park and have a look at the map and see what they've got it down as. But absolutely breathtaking place to be, folks. It's just so natural and wild down here, folks. It's great. But we're going to start making our way back now. Right, so we've had a lot of rain, folks. As you can see there, the stream is only inches away from knocking over. But yes, so it was great to actually go there now with a bit of updated information, and check it out, folks. The good news is it stopped raining anyway, that's one thing. Sorry about the shaky camera, folks. I've got a dog in one hand and a camera in the other end. Never really a good outcome, but yeah, so we've enjoyed it, folks, and it's a good stank for Charlie. It's a bit of a distance from here where we are, but at least we can actually visit the exact site where. Right, folks, so I've got a low battery on the camera, but thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's great to know where its exact location is, and until the next time, folks, we will